Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of our Kingdom Come Deliverance campaign. Now, last time our castle, our hometown had just been burned and we had fled to a nearby castle. Let's jump right back in. Now I did get a little bit of commentary saying that perhaps I shouldn't be talking through the cutscenes, and I do apologize about that. I just played that opening sequence so many times I literally knew everything that was going to happen. But now, I'm flying blind. This will be the first time I encounter it right alongside you guys. And that is a really cool Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden painting up on the wall there. Very cool. There's a lot of nice details in this world. Clearly someone took a lot of time and love and put it back into it here. And some nice stucco wall paintings. St. George and the Dragon there. Rescuing the fair maiden. I have no idea which saint that would be, unless that's possibly George. I mean, obviously that was earlier on. You don't become a saint and martyr for killing a dragon. Makes you realize I don't know what happens to St. George after he kills the dragon. This nice castle here with its wood structures. We got some rain happening. Let's see what this guy wants from us.
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach.
I like this guy. Clearly an old campaigner.
They say he was a swordsman.
Sir Divish of Talmberg. Hello, villager. You're very close to me right there. Did not expect that. Looks like we have hunger and sleep needs right now.
I can't understand.
Oh, he's leading us.
But I'm sure he has reasons. He had a fine reputation. It's a great loss.
Is that your father he's talking about?
Ah, milady. You're fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bojana here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear. Aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the outer bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, thank you, my lady. God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Definitely a little bit of class issues going on here, which, you know, makes sense for the period. I like that sort of political, the comedy of manners right there. He didn't quite know what to say to the lady. Roast duck. Lentil mash. So, the longer he doesn't eat, the weaker he gets. If he fasts long enough, he can even die. Sounds about right. Question is now, how do I eat? Nope. Ooh, that is taking out a sword. That was not the correct thing to do.
More careful.
Yep, sorry about that. And can't delay. Well, I'm picking up the food, but how do I eat it? Oh my goodness, I do not want to take out a sword for like the 13th time.
You fled from Scanners. How did you manage that?
Where's our eat option? Directly eat? I'm not crazy here.
Seems I'm not good enough for the
Yeah,
gent.
that's crouching. Apparently we'll try down. There we go. can't eat door keys. Roast duck. Where are speech and charisma down right now? Are we wounded or something? What's our status effect that's going on here? There's so many things to consider. Buff, -1. Doesn't say why. It just says... oh, we're still hungry. Well, to be fair, I'd probably be hungry too. There actually wasn't very much food. Scarf. Until mash. Do you find it odd there's not an ability just to eat it directly at the time? Let me see if I can hold down A, if that would do it.
Oh, damn, I'm tired.
I don't know, I'm just going to take all the food I can and assume I'll need to eat it later. Only half tired, buddy, come on. Now, I had an interesting discussion on the comments section because I made sure to point out that I was a little surprised by the lack of beds in a peasant household. And one gentleman from the Czech Republic actually weighed in that, you know, a lot of researchers did go into this. I don't want to try and imply that I'm coming in late and saying, oh, everything I did in it was wrong. But this is much closer to what I was expecting. You know, just sort of basic pieces of wood over top of a, you know, just wood bottom or even a rope bottom, and then they just do straw padding. Dude, you're standing upright. Can you not keep your eyes open for 30 seconds? That was much closer to what I was expecting, so I guess they're going for this as a peasant hovel. But even then, I mean, during the winter, they would be bedding and things. I just guess it was stashed away somewhere. Although, in my research, I did eventually come across what they call the bed in a box, which is those chests that we were seeing could possibly actually have beds rolled up in them. And I guess this is us. Yeah, like I said, you know, 4 pieces of wood nailed together, not that difficult to create. I mean, even the Vikings had something like this, and, you know, theoretically they were barbarous. Okay, sit on it and press A to launch sleeping. Yes, we will now sleep, because apparently I'm gonna... oh, comfort 50%. Apparently can't be super comfortable yet. I'll assume he'll need at least a good... oh. So it actually tells you how much energy you can get. Our nourishment will be almost gone by the time we get back up again, so we'll have to eat. It really is sort of a survival sim.
Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir.
Ah, I guess it's because he's restless, not because... oof, yeah, I needed to see a doctor. I forgot I got beat up so badly.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady. No, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
Nothing good.
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a sermon.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you.
Like that raised eyebrow, like, whoa, getting touched by a noble lady.
I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal.
Humorously enough, when comforting people, don't mention the ordeal repeatedly.
Although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
I guess we get the opportunity to talk about our feelings if we would like to do so. Well, apparently we get speech points for talking, so I'm gonna...
I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other.
Yep.
I went to the tavern to buy ale for Father. I know it's a job for a groom, but I didn't mind.
Apparently they have timers on our choices now.
I courted her a while and we agreed to meet in the evening, but our meeting was never to happen.
Oh, dear boy.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig.
So looks like my best chance on this one is this.
The sword was taking shape when Sir Radzig himself came to have a look at it. He praised Father's work and said that with his smithing skills, he could easily make a living in Prague or Vienna.
You don't say.
But Sigismund's
I do wonder what happens if I win this. Like I said, nothing good seems to come of it. We can't brute force her. We'll just play on the emotions every time here.
Pennants flapped in the wind. The armor glinted in the...
How awful.
And then death descended.
This room is feeling very small. 6448. Let's go kill... Let's maybe not mention Bianca to the lady in your room in the middle of the night.
Surrounded by Sigismund butchers.
I dare say that would be indiscreet.
Down one human after another. I never saw him fight like that.
Yeah.
But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armor, saw Father and charged at him. Cut down my father without a thought.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbor. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg.
Yep, and that's how I wound up here.
I needed a horse to get to the safety of...
And with all that was happening, you thought of others like a good Christian.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate...
Good thing I tried to intervene there.
Sword, and even though there were
do wonder how that'll come back up again.
I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped.
Yeah, because you were useless during that siege.
You know, it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
The camera placement on that is not quite right.
It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, PTSD is not a new thing.
It's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith.
Whatever life brings.
Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either.
So what's your story?
In comparison to the horrors you went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel.
Yeah, I didn't think about the fact that he's 60s and she's maybe 30.
He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Probislavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
Where is this going?
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom.
Only then did he agree to release. I read faster than they talk, and they are talking very slowly. Like, I think they need to actually speed this up a little bit or correct some dialogue.
After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on.
Your best years are still ahead of you.
We're here. Would that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep.
Like, are they trying to set it up like this? Like, we're all getting the same vibes, right? Like, it's not just because I played The Witcher either, where, you know,
good night.
Every woman is a mini-game.
Good night, my lady.
I think his tights are getting a little tighter. What a random occurrence in the middle of the night. Having a lord visit a peasant is really super duper uncommon. I mean, that would be scandalous if anyone saw it, to say the least. Especially as a married woman without an accompaniment of some kind. This age was not particularly fair to the genders, I'll put it that way. I like the... Jeez. They definitely want to make sure you know that's a nightmare.
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Women in the Middle Ages. Man was head of the family. I was just talking about this a second ago. Yeah, girls married very early, and there were nearly always political marriages. I mean, it's a way of binding together different families, dynasties. I mean, I talked earlier about possibly inheriting that tavern. I mean, it's a way of securing for future generations, you know, not only your well-being, but their well-being as well. Especially the story of her husband there. Bandages. Used to stop bleeding. Well, I'm not bleeding. Just beat the snot out of. Well, apparently I'm fine now. I'm just ugly and dirty. Take the torch from the table. Take the torch from the table. Take the torch from the table. Torch. Pick up the torch. Need light. Use your torch by holding left. Use a shield. It's better to drink Nighthawk potion for better night vision. Ooh, got a little Witcher cat's eye. Keep mentioning The Witcher. I assume most people that are watching this have played it, and if you haven't, definitely owe it to yourself to give it a try. That's a gorgeous lighting. Hello, guards. Well, this is definitely going to be a game where you're not supposed to be out at night, and this is not Skyrim. Actually reminds me a lot more of Morrowind, if you guys are aware of that one. It's a older one, but
Heed my commands, and all will end well.
We're not supposed to talk to Sir Davish. Don't speak to the Lord directly. Well, what's going on?
It doesn't make sense. Why would Sigismund advance on Talmberg in the night? Especially since he's lost the element of surprise after the raid on the scouts.
Probably negotiating. Why take it by force?
Then who is it? The scouts Jivish sent to Skalitz to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And so Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a lot of soldiers. including all manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune.
And as someone pointed out, apparently Silver Skillets is called that because it had a silver mine there, regular source of income. Oh, looks like that's your buddy, Sir Radzig.
Halt! Who goes there?
That makes more sense.
Lucifer and all his minions. Who else, Robber?
Sir Radzig! What a relief.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir. He is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Divish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Radzig, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank God for this tempest. When it began, Sigismund's Tatars crawled into their holes and left us storming the castle for more clement weather. We were able to sneak out right under their noses. The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like
This
to
seems
visit
highly
them in
suspicious.
Oh no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. We'd only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
What will you do then?
We'll march to Radzig. It's only a short way, and there we'll have a better chance of defense, and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is that boy still with you?
I'm here, sir.
You have courage, lad. That I can't deny.
Sounds like we're going to
I'm
Radzig.
sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to Skalitz.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
Sir!
Quiet!
No kidding.
I'm sorry about your father. But getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that lad doesn't budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Hovel of Balding.
I've seen you've grown a thick skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank you. We'll meet again when circumstances are more favorable. Farewell.
Farewell, friend, and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanish.
I will. And good luck to you and your people, too. These are dark times. Move out!
That does seem like a missed opportunity. One of the problems with RPGs is sometimes they don't give you a choice to try and push the plot a certain direction. In this case, I really wanted to go with that guy to Radzig. It seemed a far better use of my time than arguing with a lord.
Men, tonight we'll have...
Ugh. More talking. Can I be of help?
I could use an extra pair of eyes, and yours are keen. Will you keep watch of the battlements with my men?
Is that a request or an order?
I'd rather it was a request you answered yes to.
Of course I'll help. I'll have to pay you back somehow after all you've done for me.
Splendid. And don't worry. I'll tell the men to relieve you later. May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah, Nicopolis. I mentioned this earlier, but as it says, is we got between Turks and like basically it was supposed to be like a Christian crusade. If you've ever read, oh my goodness, I can't think of the name of the book. But basically, there's a very lovely book set from it's The Last Duel. The Last Duel, which actually has been bought by the guy who made Goodfellas. Scorsese optioned the book. But basically, it's about a knight from France who took part in this crusade, you know, because crusades are money-making ventures in a way. You go with the idea that you can kill people, make money, and ransom them back, because in the Middle Ages, you actually didn't kill people if you could avoid it, because they were worth money. Instead, you ransom them. But unfortunately, in this case, a lot of the Christian knights got captured at the end of the battle, and they got ransomed back. And ransoming is not a cheap venture. People built castles on ransoms from single individuals. So this was definitely one of those situations that they used it to their advantage. Okay, now I have an exclamation point right there, which I assume means I should be going this way. So let's try and figure out what's going on. Follow these battlements. Really well-made battlements here.
Wandering around like a stray sheep. Must be your first watch, eh?
Yes, it is.
I don't think anything much will be happening today. You can just lean against the wall and wait till morning. I'll show you what's what.
I will. Thank you.
Apparently I've completed the objective. Press C how long you can wait. Let's wait until morning. Energy, nourishment. Energy going back down again. I think dawn's only like 2 hours away. Let's just do that. Yeah, apparently dawn is at 5 there, so let's wake up at dawn. Did it go a little too early? These half-hour increments or something? There we go.
Good day to you.
What do you think about how the Skalitz folk managed to flee the siege?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. If there's a hard enough storm, all of them have a sally port. Most major castles have sort of backdoor opportunity, so, I mean, they might be able to get out. But, I mean, without anyone noticing, you're telling me Sigismund didn't surround the castle in some way? I mean, it's possible and likely that he may have just come up on it and allowed them an escape route, because it's much easier for them to just leave than fight. But the idea that they escaped, you know, unintentionally is sort of crazy. I don't really care what the random guard thinks.
Let's go! Let's go! Move it! Quick! Go! Go!
Let's see what we have going on here. If you see guys armed on the battlements, that means there's somebody on the other side. Hey, look! It's Sigismund! I'm starting to think our protagonist is bad luck. I think someone's sneaking up on me.
Wins the love and respect of his loyal subjects.
I have a 2-year-old sneaking up on me.
Sigismund of Luxembourg has a rare talent for winning people over to his cause. You may be in for a surprise. I don't think he will set his heathen dogs on us today.
Greetings, Lord of Talmberg.
That's the bastard who led the attack at Skalitz and killed my parents.
Don't be an idiot. Do you want to end up like them?
I am Sir Marquardt von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, who has resolved to strike against those who disrupt concord in the land and to restore order in the name of his brother, King Wenceslaus IV.
Restore order by burning and pillaging the king's estates.
Greetings, Sir Marquardt. The efforts of the king's brother to bring order to this chaotic land are undoubtedly noble.
See, that's how you're supposed to speak in these situations. Let's murder everyone.
Somewhat strayed. As Burgrave of Prague Castle, I am entirely beholden to the king. And here in Talmberg, divine peace reigns.
Hey!
Until you're...
Are you up from your nap?
Yes, I did.
This is my son, Henry. He's 2.
Yesterday, His Majesty took action against the enemy of the kingdom, Radzig Kobila. who has been using the silver from the Skalitz mine to fund insurrection against the crown.
Which we talked about earlier.
Fortunately, the insurgent escaped. Would you happen to know, noble sir, where he might be at this time?
As far as I know,
Yeah.
the Sir Radzig of which you speak is the king's hetman at Skalitz. I find it hard to imagine that he would rebel against our king. Nevertheless, I can assure you that Sir Radzig is not at Talmberg. He would be a fool indeed to flee from one castle, where he has little chance of defense, to another, where he has even less.
Well, it seems like this is actually a better castle.
My humble man is any obstacle to your honor.
He's being ironic.
Try to inform the king then that the Radzig Kobila is not at Talmberg and that he has your loyalty.
Sir Radzig Cody is not here, and I have no intentions of getting embroiled in affairs from which I have nothing to gain.
Very well, sir. Wish. I will relay your words to the king in the hope he will be as well disposed as you seem to be.
Yeah, maintain neutrality.
Clean consciences and goodwill may find themselves well disposed even at moments like this, when there is little call for joy. Farewell, sir.
And to anyone asking why I need to shoot him with a crossbow, well, that's the fastest way in the world to turn the situation into a real fight. Man, that fog is beautiful. At the moment, I mean, that's one of the things I think this game is going to be about. You can always talk your way out of something, but when it comes to blows, there's no coming back from that. Nobody makes a profit from war for the most part. Peace is profitable. Turn it around. Oh, they wanted to play that for drama, though.
Turn it around.
Turning it around. Yeah. See, now that's the guy you want to learn speechcraft from. So, 1403, this is the era of full plate mail. Obviously, not quite under the joints and stuff, gambits and something like that. And it's a little bit later you get completely encapsulated. But still, just a walking battle tank. And I do wonder how long it's going to be before I get my hands on a full set like that. What if I just, you know, waylay one of them on the side of the road if I would be able to keep all of it? That would be cool. Definitely makes you want to do some Robin Hood action. Okay, and now that the enemy has dispersed and we are up on the walls by ourselves, seems like we're going to have to find a way to escape that castle next, if I had to suspect. And that's a good point as any to stop for today. Now, I will say I'm a little curious what happens with the lady of the castle. I personally find that sleeping here another couple nights, nothing good's going to come of that. Let's be honest here. But, as always, thanks for watching. Leave some opinions down below. It's amazing to me how slow this game is going so far. There's a lot of dialogue. It's interesting, but not a lot of fighting. So, yeah. Does it pick up, or am I just doing things entirely wrong? Anywho, thanks for watching. Tune in next time.